Hi, my name is Patrick Mordaunt. I'm 17 years old. I can't vote, I can't enlist, and I can't drink, but I can drift.
17-year-old drifter Pat "Juicebox" Mordaunt earned his Formula D Pro license back in 2007, and 2008 marks his debut as a professional driver in the series. Formula D's 2008 season kicked off on the streets of Long Beach, a street course that is notorious for its constant surface changes and high-speed 90-degree turns flanked by unforgiving concrete walls.
The Long Beach course is a very difficult and technical course with no room for error. There's K-rails on each side of you, and there's just such a narrow road that you can't be off even by a couple inches, otherwise that's crashing. The track's biggest challenge is definitely the inconsistent surface. It will go from concrete to asphalt back to concrete, so you have to be very in touch with the car, and you have to be able to feel what surface you're going onto and prep for it, and just be very, very careful with where you're putting the car. The initial turn for the Formula Drift course is a 90-degree right, known as turn 9. It's definitely a car killer. A lot of people overshoot the turn, they go in too fast.
It's probably the hairiest turn in Formula D, because a lot of the tracks have a lot of runoff, they're open, so you can just fly off the end, you know, and go in the gravel pit.
My initial crash over the weekend was caused by my eagerness to get out on the course.
What happened, little Pat?
I just went into turn 9 too fast. You know, I was trying to keep the car in boost and go in with as much speed as I could, and just, unfortunately, the car kind of floated out and ended up hitting the tires.
I just have one more question. How are you going to pay us back for the vinyl? You got an after-school paper route, or you going to mow lawns, or what are you going to do?
Probably mow lawns. Hitting the tires is a very painful thing to do. It's a very violent and rough impact. You get thrown around a lot, your neck stretches, your harnesses stretch, and when I hit, my head stretched sideways and proceeded to hit the window and shatter the glass.
What's it like as a parent watching your baby boy go into the wall like that?
Well, it's pretty a little scary and kind of disappointing. I guess the only thing that makes me feel a little better was that I saw him walk away with no injuries from a much worse crash. So and he was good. He called me right away on the cell and said, "Hey, I'm okay."
Right after our crash, it was qualifying, so we definitely had to rush to fix everything, but we slapped together all the body panels and replaced a couple of the arms to go back out and try to qualify. And luckily, my first qualifying run, I just, at that point, didn't really have any cares, so it was just balls to the wall, and we ended up qualifying 14th. After qualifying, we had some practice time, so ran out and just got a good feel for the car and everything, and came around turn 9, and Haraguchi was dead stopped in front of me. So I opted to hit the wall instead of rear-ending him, which caused our frame to be severely bent, as well as a broken control arm, tension rod, and we bent one of our wheels.
Everyone was psyched that Pat made it into the top 32 his first time out as a pro, but with 2 wrecks in one day, we weren't sure that he would be able to get his car back into one piece in time for the competition. Pat and his crew pulled an all-nighter so that the car would at least be able to make it to the starting grid.
As soon as we could, we got the car back to the shop and started working on pulling the frame. From there, we tried to source a new oil cooler as well as all the suspension arms, and it ended up being a very long, late night.
Pat's car was on the track, but it was barely moving. Something was definitely wrong. Very wrong.
After qualifying and practice, when we had our drivetrain troubles, it was just a huge letdown, you know. We came back, we fixed everything that we thought was wrong with the car. We were up all night working, that type of thing, and then to go out and just have a, drivetrain issue is just, it just shows that it was not my weekend, you know.
His clutch was slipping and third gear is grinding. He needs another transmission and a better clutch system on his car. Usually when cars make a good 300, 350 horsepower, or at least 300 horsepower, what happens is the clutch has more clapping force and it shocks the transmission. And when it shocks the transmission, it damages the gears. What we're using on Ross's car and a lot of on the pro cars, they're running twin disc that actually slip a little bit before they grab, and what doesn't put a lot of, load on the transmission instantly.
To fix the frame after the race, we took the car to K&W Auto Body, where we put the car up on their frame rack and started pulling the frame. Unfortunately, the car has been hit before, so a lot of the frame was already previously tweaked. So for the past couple days, we've been nonstop just pulling the frame and working the car out, but now it's 100% straight. We just have to do a few minor adjustments here and there, such as stitch welding the engine bay as well as the aprons. Unfortunately, when a car does get crashed, a lot of the seam welds and that type of thing do come apart. So we just want to make sure that the car still holds its structural integrity and just make sure that the front end is stiff and stable.
Pat suffered from 3 mishaps his first time out as a pro at Long Beach, but he managed to work through all challenges and beat out bigger, more established competitors and land a spot in the top 32. With Pat's talent and determination, he has the potential to make his mark in FD. Be sure to join us as we continue to follow Pat's rookie year in Formula Drift.
I mean, we thought you looked good out there despite all the mishaps. Can you tell us what we can expect to see in Atlanta?
Expect to see a new chassis, the car coming back clean and fresh, and expect me in top 16.